Somebody explain to me again why this movie was made. Well, the Dark Phoenix saga is so important to X-Men lore, and they really screwed the pooch the last time they tried it in X-Men The Last Stand. So they really wanted to do some fan service and try the story again. This time, get it done right. So who should we hire this time to write the second attempt at the Dark Phoenix saga? You know what? Let's hire the same guy who wrote it and screwed it up the first time around. And you know what? Let's even let him direct the movie this time. Yeah. That sounds like a great idea. Alright, let's get this shit over with. Dark Phoenix is the latest and probably the last film in the X-Men franchise as we currently know it. And it really pains me to see the X-Men franchise end this way, because I'm a huge X-Men fan. I grew up reading the X-Men. It was my favorite comic book of all time. It still is. I still have my old back issues. And the Dark Phoenix saga, like I said earlier, it is probably the most famous storyline within all of the X-Men stories. That being said, oh man, this film, not so good. I'm gonna go into some minor spoiler territory here, but nothing major. It's all stuff that they showed in the trailers, so I'm not gonna really divulge anything new that you haven't already seen via the publicity for this film, but let's start at the beginning. So the movie starts off with Jean Grey at 8 years old. She's in a car ride with her parents, and this girl who plays the young Jean Grey, I don't know where they got her, but she's a horrible actress. Her line delivery is like, what, are you serious? Did anyone coach this young little girl to say a line correctly? But there she is. Her performance sucks. But I guess in terms of consistency, it worked out pretty well, because when they bring back Jean Grey as an adult, played by Sophie Turner, the acting doesn't really get much better, to be honest, and she sucks as well, so I'll give them credit for consistency there. After that initial scene with the young Jean Grey, now we have the X-Men. They're like the superheroes of the USA now, and you get the space mission that's in trouble, so they fly up there to save the astronauts, and of course they save the day. But man, you know, we're talking about like, we're like 5 minutes into the movie, and this film just throws you right in there, and you got this musical score like really driving it, and it sounds like somebody just ripped off the score from Mission Impossible 2. That's the only thing I could think of as I'm watching this scene. Like, man, this music really wants me to feel intense and be really thrilling, but shit, man, it's too soon. You know, kind of give me a little warm up. You can't just boom, 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 throw me right in there. So like, what the fuck, man? It's a little bit too much. We gotta chill a little bit. That was a very abrupt opening action scene and didn't really let you warm up to that moment and let it build to that moment. It just threw you right in there, and it was very awkward. And then they come back to Earth, and Jennifer Lawrence, big star, you know, she has a little moment, her little speech to Charles Xavier, and she says some stupid ass shit, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It has something to do with, you know, women power. And please don't get me wrong, I love strong female characters. There have been lots of iconic, strong female characters throughout cinema, but you know what they didn't do? They didn't shove it down your damn throat, and they didn't give you these stupid pandering lines that just say that they're powerful rather than showing you that they're powerful. And this line is just so out of place. It's just so in your face, and I just had to roll my eyes at it. And it's something along the lines of, well, the women are doing all the work nowadays, you should call the group X-Women. Bitch, please, man. First of all, you came up with the name X-Men in X-Men First Class, alright? That was your idea. Second of all, you're implying that the women did all the hard work in the latest mission. But you know what? You didn't do jack shit. What is a shapeshifter gonna do in a mission in space? She's gonna morph into an asteroid? What the fuck? She literally just sat in her seat and was just kind of doing play-by-play and barking out some orders. Stuff that the Beast could have easily done, because he's the smartest guy in the group. So what the fuck did you bring to the table in that scene? What the hell did you do to justify that comment that the woman is doing all the hard work? And if I watched the scene correctly, I could have sworn that Quicksilver and Nightcrawler did most of the damn work. So what the fuck are you talking about? See, that's the kind of shitty ass writing that just is spread like a virus throughout this movie. This writing is horrible. Simon Kinberg, who wrote The Last Stand, where they fucked up the Dark Phoenix saga the first time, he wrote this version, and he also directed it. And you know what? Pick one or the other, man, because you can't do either one of them well, I swear to God. Oh, The dialogue in this movie is just horrendous. That's just one example. Throughout the film, the dialogue just has no energy. It's just so bland, and the performances suffer for it. All of these actors, Fassbender, McAvoy, Nicholas Hoult, all great actors, but you can just kind of tell they're over it already. Let's just fulfill our contract with Fox and get the shit out of here already. And Jennifer Lawrence, I've never been a fan of. I don't know why they made Mystique so prominent as she was in the last couple of films. And that line about ex-women, oh, I just wanted to fucking throw up in my seat. I'm like, don't even do that. And who are you anyway? The next Brie Larson?
Is that like a personal attack or something?
You know, you just can't force this character of Jean Grey on us. In the comic books, they had about 130 issues to build this character up, to let us get to know her, to fall in love with her. So when she became the Dark Phoenix, it truly was tragic. There was a lot of emotional loss. But in this film, Sophie Turner, quite honestly, they just threw her in the last movie, Apocalypse. She wasn't even in it for all that much. So I don't even remember her performance from that movie, to be honest. And then all of a sudden, from the very beginning of this movie, you're gonna make her the focal point of this film. And I have no emotional investment in her or her character. Her acting did not help, the writing did not help. So you can't really make a film have that emotional impact that it deserves by just forcing characters upon the viewer. How am I supposed to give a shit about Jean Grey in this case? I just can't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't give a shit about any of the characters, to be honest. Xavier and Magneto, how many times do we get to see them going back and forth against each other? Oh, we're friends. Oh, we're enemies. Oh, we're friends. Oh, we're enemies. This is like the 10th damn time already. Enough. Do we have to have Magneto in every single damn movie? No, why don't you bring in somebody else? Bring some fresh blood. Speaking of flip-flopping, every character besides Xavier and Magneto in this movie, they flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. Oh, they're on this side one moment. Oh, no, on this side, no, this side, this side. You know, there's just no consistency throughout. The characters' motivations doesn't matter. It just whatever suits that scene at that particular time. And I don't know what the hell happened to Quicksilver. It's like the actor Evan Peters who plays Quicksilver said to the producers, you know what? I don't even want to be in this movie, but I have to be, so I'll give you 1 day of filming, so use me as much as you want for that 1 day. After that, I'm fucking out of here, because Quicksilver, man, I don't know what the hell happened, but he is nowhere to be seen for a big chunk of the film, and especially for a key action sequence toward the end, we're like, where the fuck is Quicksilver, man? It made no sense that he wasn't there. Like, this movie, God, I just can't get over how shitty it was. I must admit there's a few positive points, but very minor ones. I did really appreciate how they finally gave Beast some really good moments in this film. Nicholas Hoult, who I think is a fantastic actor. He really does a lot with Beast in this movie, and I thought that was really good, especially his fighting scenes. And the last action sequence on the train, yeah, it was pretty cool. There was some cool stuff in there, but again, a lot of stuff that happened in there was kind of unexpected based on the characters' traits that we've learned about them so far up to now. Like, oh, that character, really, would they be doing that? But again, their motivations are just based on the needs of the character at that time in that scene, and not part of an overall character arc that we've invested in. So you know what? The action scene at the end, while it is somewhat pretty cool, it just has no emotional impact. And I don't really give a fuck at this point. I'm just waiting for the movie to end. And speaking of the ending, the last scene of the movie, like, what? That's the last scene? Again, it had nothing to do with the main focal point of the movie in the last 2 hours that we invested in. The last scene is like a tack on at the end. I'm like, oh, are you serious? And you know what? This movie is just a big mess. It's horrible. I was just rolling my eyes throughout the movie. The dialogue is horrible. The writing is horrible. The performances are very flat. No one seems interested in making this a good movie. So for me, Dark Phoenix gets a 2 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching my review. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel, MC on Film, for more reviews in the future.